So Mirabai and I speak about this, like, it feels to us that our job now is I think of it as God's asked to write love letters to the future. It's like we need to find resilience and courage and a vision for the better world our hearts know is possible, to quote Charles Eisenstein. That we need to have a vision for what that better world is. And for me, I imagine it as the world very much that Mirabai creates with her new book, where the patriarchy, it's no more power over, it's power with and power for. So that feels to me like the other side of the dark night. And I'm not sure I'll be alive to see it myself. We'll see. I'd be nice to, but I think we need is to acknowledge that hurt people hurt people. Pain that is not transformed is transmitted. So there's a lot of people who are hurt right now that they feel in our country and across the world, that feel that they are not respected, that they are not seen, that they are fearful of losing. It's a zero-sum game. That feel that that if somebody else is going to get ahead of them, all that, the replacement theory and so on. And I think we have to do greater work around that, around recognizing and understanding that particular current that's so much a part of what's going on right now. But I do know that healed people heal people, and we need to be those people. And that's what we're doing here, which is so beautiful. And so I wanted to talk a little bit about the resilience that we need in this time for us on this healing path. And resilience, the greatest resilience I've ever experienced is my goddaughter. Her name is Cynthia Alvarez, and she was born into a trailer in Compton. At 5, she started to be sexually violated by her mother's boyfriend in front of the mother. Her mother started torturing her, and she tried to escape. She tried to go leave and be a prostitute, but they tied her to chairs, and terrible things happened. And she had a boyfriend, and the boyfriend was abusing her and threatening her with guns and things. And she tried to break up with her boyfriend, and he came over and killed both her parents. Yeah, it's really a hideous story. And she went to prison. She was given 52 to life as an adult. She was 15 when this happened. She got sentenced as an adult to 52 to life. Brother Dennis and I were there at her court case day in and day out. She's a beautiful, beautiful soul, not a malicious bone in her body. And she got lucky. There was a change in the laws, and they decided that that if you're 15 or under, you can't get an adult sentence. So they changed hers to a minor's life sentence, which means she got out when she was 25. So she came to live with us at the monastery, which was difficult because 10 years in prison and the life she'd had, she was an emotional mess, understandably. But she went into Homeboy Industries, got therapy there. She did also a lot of trauma work while she was in prison, which she did a lot of work on herself. But when she got out, she was at Homeboys. She started working in the bakery and then at the tattoo removal offices. She's now in a stable relationship. She's got a child, a 18-month-old child, and she's mostly okay. She still struggles with overeating or cutting, which didn't you refer to that today? But she knows that she is loved by me. She calls her mother. And my point is that the resilience I see in this girl is like she can move mountains, and she figures things out, and she knows how to do coding, and she uses this. She just got Section 8 housing. She knows how to find what she needs and reach out when she needs help and love. And so resilience comes from suffering and struggle. Is that correct?
Yes. I want to say, I think it's so important that we share like this in different ways. But I want to tell you what I've been formed by so much this way. Is that if you would say, come to see me for therapy, and I don't know what you want to just process other than the little bit you told me on the phone, but I've done it so much, I already know it's going to have to happen. If the healing you're hoping for is going to occur, it's like a liturgy, and it goes kind of like this. You'll talk and I'll listen. And at a certain point, I stop, and I have a question, and it's a real question. But the question I have is such that before you can respond, you have to pause for a moment to listen to yourself. In that little moment, you're becoming more present to yourself in my presence this way. And the subtlety of the alliance begins this way. And then I go a little later and I have another question. Then I say, I'm going to say it back, like edit it for me so I know we're together. Do that. I have another question. Eventually we get to a certain point where we get close to the hurting place and you'll tear up, see? Or you'll laugh when you say something sad, or your body energy will change. And I'll say to you, if we don't get close enough to touch it, it festers. But if we get too close, you're going to get re-traumatized in here. And the traumatized part of you is listening very closely to everything we say. And if it's not safe, it's going to shut it down. See? So let's talk about the weather or Jerry Seinfeld reruns or something, seriously, because you're in charge. Because nothing happens without safety. And so this is so universally intimate. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I'm used to working with. I'm used to working with the universality of the intimacy at the edge of the hurting place and to find the light shining out of it. And I'll say one more thing too about trauma for me poetically. Sometimes you can get to a place, some people, it gets so dark, you lose yourself in your own life this way. And in the darkness, you feel so lost. But if you don't panic, this is the imagery for me with therapy. If you don't panic, you discover that in the darkness, you know how your eyes get used to the dark? You start to see the detailed contours of the interiority, the woundedness of your own heart, like experiential self-knowledge. And then you realize that you're not alone because someone's been coming in looking for you, or they were there all alone and you couldn't see it. See? And when the person finds you there and they lead you out through a circuitous path, through tears and whatever it is, if you're fortunate enough to come back out into the light, you're so grateful. You're so grateful that you're much more freed up from the things that you went through because of the trauma. But you also know it's important to never forget what you learned in the darkness, see? Because the brotherhood and the sisterhood of the preciousness of our broken brothers and sisters are there, and we all belong to each other this way. And so that's been some things that have helped me to see that.